Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Halid Akila Umam, and I want to present my project Free and Bound Morpheme. What's it morpheme? Morpheme is the smallest meaningful unit in a language. Each word consists of one or more morpheme. For example, is dogs, happier, and unkind. These are the two, I think, two different about free and bound. For the first, free can stand alone as an individual, and bound can stand alone as the individual words. For example, free, book, run, happy. Bound as in books, and in unhappiness in the kindness. Type free morpheme. These are the two type of morpheme, and what was one is lexical morpheme. Lexical morpheme are words that express the main content or meaning of a sentence. Lexical morphemes are noun, book, river, chair, flower, city. Adjective: beautiful, cold, honest, angry, bright. Verbs: run, sing, cook, write, jump. Adverbs: quickly, yesterday, often, gently, and outside. Functional morphemes. Functional morphemes are free morphemes that perform grammatical function, helping link or organize words within a sentence. They include a preposition: above, below, behind, across, inside. Conjunction: so, yet, for, nor. Articles: the, some, any, each. For the bound morpheme, there are four differences, I think. For the first one is prefix, an affix that is added to the beginning of a word. Example: in unhappy, pray in a preview. And the suffix, affix that added to the end of a word. For example, full in a beautiful, add in the walk. The tree is circumfix, a two-part affix consisting of a prefix and a suffix that together surround the word of stem. For example, am and an in bold to change the verb all into the adjective emboldened. The last one is infix, an affix that is inserted inside of the word. Type bound morpheme. There are the two type of bound morpheme. The first one is derivational and inflectional. For the first, derivational morphemes are bound morphemes that are used to form new words and can alter the lexical category of the word. For example, is kind plus ness plus kindness, quick plus quickly. If the second is inflectional morphemes. Inflectional morphemes are bound morphemes that function to indicate a grammatical relationship within a language. For example, dog plus s, dogs, it means plural. Walk plus add, walk, past tense. Run and running, present participle. So we go on to the part 2, case studies. For case studies number 1 is I don't like going to the crowded place, but my friends like them. Okay, this sentence helps us identify both free and bound morphemes. So we go on to morpheme and its classification. I, free morpheme. An, bound morpheme. Like, free morpheme. Go, free morpheme. In, bound morpheme. To, free morpheme. Crowd, free morpheme. At, bound morpheme. Place, free morpheme. as bonmorphism, but free my free friend free like free as bound dimorphism, them free. And free can stand alone and still have a meaning. For example, go, like, friend, place. And one morpheme cannot stand alone and must attach to other morpheme such as an, ing, at, as. Okay, next. Similarly, going has go as the free morpheme and ing as the bond morpheme, forming the continuous aspect. It shows how English words can be built by combining different type of morphemes. Understanding morphemes can help us recognize patterns in English word formation. For instance, we knowing that an makes words negative or at change verbs into past tense forms. Okay, now go on to the case studies 2. A local English magazine editor confused two following pairs: manage, management, talking, hopeful, played. In this case, a local magazine editor is confused about the use of the morphemes in the several word pairs. Its pairs show a different type of word formation process involving either the definitional of inflectional morphemes. Let's analyze the kind of morpheme in each example. First, management use the suffix man, which change the word class from a verb into a noun. Therefore, is a derivational morpheme. Second, talking, ing, which does not change the word class but instead shows the progressive aspects. So it's an inflectional morpheme. Third, hopeful, at full, changing the word from verb to an adjective, which make it another derivational morpheme. Lastly, played, add ed to mark the past tense without changing the class of the word. So it's an inflectional morpheme. To conclude the derivational morphemes, create a new words or change their word class, while inflectional morphemes only change grammatical forms like tense or number without changing the meaning. Okay, now case studies number 3. A student claims that when is the past tense of go because of the ed rule. You are asked to evaluate this statement. In this case, a student believes that when is formed by following the regular add rules, just like a played or walk. However, this statement is incorrect because when does not follow the regular pattern of past tense formation in English. The relationship between go and when is an example of suppletion. The relationship between go and when is an example of suppletion. Suppletion occurs when the root morpheme is replaced by a completely different form to express a grammatical contrast. For example, good, better, bad, worse. So when is not created by adding at to go, but actually is a spirit irregular form to express past tense. Okay, now the relationship about oh sorry Suppletion is a process whereby a root morpheme is replaced by the unrelated form in order to indicate a grammatical contrast. In morphology, suppletion means that a completely different word is used to indicate tense or degree. Other examples include eat to at, go to went, be to was or were. These are irregular and unpredictable forms that can be explained by the normal morphological rules. For the next slide is suppletion and mental lexicon. In morphological theory, words like when are stored in our mental lexicon as a memorized forms. Our brain does not form when through grammatical rules. We simply remember that when is the past tense of go. In contrast, regular verbs like play, walk, or jump follow predictable rules by adding "ed". Therefore, when is a both irregular and suppletive, not a result of the ed rule. Okay, now for case study number 4, compounds and meaning formation. Greenhouse effect, blackboard, smartphone, and pickpocket. We analyze their structure and meaning formation. Each compound can be broken down into a small word. For example, greenhouse effect, green plus house plus effect, blackbird, black plus board, smartphone, smart plus phone, pickpocket, pick plus pocket. And compound classification, we can classify them into twin main types. The first is endocentric compounds, where the meaning centers on the head word. For example, blackboard is a type of board, smartphone is a type of phone. And the exocentric compounds, where the meaning is not directly connected to the either words. For example, is pickpocket is not a type of pocket, but a person who steals from pocket. Okay, the next slide. In English, the meaning of compounds is usually determined by their structure. For the endocentric compounds, the head, usually the second word, gives the main meaning, while the first word acts as a modifier that specific the type. Example: a smartphone is a type of a phone that is smart. The next slide is stress pattern. The position of stress can also change meaning in English compounds. Blackbird, compound noun, means the board of writing. Blackboard, adjective plus noun, press, means any board that is a black in a color. This shows how pronunciation can indicate whether something is a compound or just a phrase. There. It's also important to remember that English compound can vary. Some are written as one word, blackboard, some with the hyphen, mother-in-law, and some as separate words, ice cream. However, their meaning is as a single concept. That's what makes them compounds. Okay, for the last one is case study number 5, morphological tree diagram, unbelievableness. For our fifth case study, we are going to analyze the morphological structure of the word unbelievableness. This word is quite interesting because it's made up of several small parts or morpheme that work together to form a complete meaning. By breaking it down, we can understand how English words are built and how their meanings can change through the prefix and suffix. Okay, the first one is we go to the identifying the morphemes. Unbelief, unbelief, able, and as each morpheme has its own role. The belief is the root or base word, which is the verb. Able is a suffix that turns the verb into an adjective, meaning able to believe it. On is a prefix that adds negation, so unbelievable means not able to believe it. And finally, ness is another suffix that changes the adjective into a noun referring to a state or quality. Now let's look at how the word form by step by step. We can start with the verb believe, then we add able, it becomes believable, which is an adjective. Next, we add the prefix on in front, creating unbelievable, still an adjective, but it now means something that cannot believe. Finally, by adding ness at the end, we affirm unbelievableness, which turns the word into a noun, meaning the state or quality of being unbelievable. So we can see a clear progression from a verb into an adjective to noun. On the slide, you can see the morphological tree diagram that show this process visually. At the bottom of row, word belief combined with suffix able, then the prefix on attached to the new adjective, and at the top suffix as it's added to complete the noun form. This hierarchical structure show how each morpheme attached in a specific order. It's not random, it follows grammatical rules. Meaning and the function summary. So its morpheme plays a different role in building the meaning. Able means capable or able to. Uns means not. And ness means the state of quality. When combined, they give us a completely new meaning. The state of being unbelievable. It's a great example of how morphologists help us to see the relationship between word parts and their meaning. Uh, Understanding the morphological structure not only helps us analyze words but also improve our vocabulary and comprehension. That's why morphological tree diagram is really helpful tools in linguistics. They make invisible word structure visible and easy to understand. Okay, thank you. I think it's all done about my presentation, and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.